Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I don't think there's a secret that Zaluzhny is fighting with Zelensky. And that's bad for Zelensky because Zaluzhny has the guns. Now, Zaluzhny is the commander-in-chief of the Ukrainian armed forces, if I remember correctly, or the military. He's a general, the guy in charge, supposedly. So, potentially, he could take over yesterday. You coming up? So that's one thing. So what's going on? These guys are in a little fight. Zaluzhny with Zelensky. You are sleeping. Anyway, so Zelensky will try to somehow legally remove Zaluzhny from his position. And how do you do that? By destroying his character. That's what I think he's going to do. And I'm going to show you here 4 articles, and I think this is the beginning of the process. That worked with, what's his name, Valery Klitschko? Not Valery, Vitaly Klitschko. Valery. So, okay, so with Vitaly Klitschko, the mayor of Kiev, it worked. What they did was, when it was that bombardment in Kiev, at one point they said the shelter doors, one shelter door was closed, locked, and unfortunately 2 or 3 civilians died. And then, if you remember, Zelensky blamed Klitschko for that. Somehow he held the doors so the guys cannot come in, and he called him almost a traitor. Remember the knockout thing that he said euphemistically? Yeah, that's Zelensky. Since then, have you heard of Klitschko lately? Nothing. I hear about the Kiev military administration guy, but not from Klitschko. No pictures, and I'm watching and I'm reading Ukrainska Pravda, New Voice of Ukraine, the Kiev Independent, Ukrinform, at least 4. I don't find Klitschko anymore, my friends. So he's gone. He was one of the competition at the electoral competition. That is, if people might vote for him instead of Zelensky, if it gets to that point. So now we have Zaluzhny, which could be the same way. So he's going to apply the same thing. He's going to show Zelensky that Zaluzhny somehow failed, like Klitschko failed to open the doors for those guys. He held the doors locked, pushed them over there so the woman with 2 children could not go in. If I remember correctly, it was a woman with her children. So he's going to do the same thing, and the newspapers are going to say what Zelensky says. That's your fault. Shut up. You are dirty. You will never, unlike me, how do you call that? The Jesus complex. I can do everything, man. All of you are bad. I'm going to protect you. I'm the guy. I'm the savior right here. So what happened? Maybe if you remember 2 days ago, the Russians blew up a group of Ukrainian soldiers attending a ceremony, and they killed about 20 people, 30 people, injured, blah blah blah. I think I will let you know because I have it right here. 4 articles. The 128th Battalion, I think it's called, or Brigade. Let me show you. This is what Zelensky will use to frame Zaluzhny. Why I think so? Not only the context. Do you think that things like this did not happen before when the Russians blew up hundreds? And nobody came out and said, first, they didn't recognize it. They didn't agree. So Zelensky never came out and said, hey, you killed 40 of our soldiers there. They never said it. Only civilians. Now he comes out and says, hey, you killed our soldiers. I want to know whose fault that was. You, Zaluzhny. You see. So here it is. Ukrainska Pravda. Russia attacks Ukrainian soldiers who had gathered for a war ceremony. Over 20 fighters killed. So, you didn't find this kind of things. You find civilians all the time, not soldiers. But now they're going to use it. And I'm going to show you. This is Saturday, November 4th, 2023. The Russian army has launched an attack, and I will show you what they used, if they don't tell you here, on Ukrainian soldiers in a frontline village of Zaporozhye. The village of Zaporozhye, in a frontline village in Zaporozhye. The soldiers are believed to have, let me show you where that is. I hope it's that. Yeah, okay. So Zaporozhye is right here. This is the Oblast, Zaporozhye Oblast. Zaporozhye is the city here on Donetsk River. So this is Zaporozhye. So somewhere here, the Russians hit. So the soldiers are believed to have gathered together in one place for an award ceremony on the occasion of Rocket Forces and Artillery Day, 3 November. According to early reports, there may be over 20 fatalities. So that's the first one. Now, we go to the next one, the New Voice of Ukraine, November 5, yesterday. Russia used Iskander ballistic missile to target Zakarpatyan Brigade in deadly Southern Front strike. Well, why do you talk about Zakarpattia? Because Zakarpattia is the territory the Hungarians want, which is right here. This is Lviv and Lutsk, the ones the Poles wanted back, and not only. The Poles will take everything. They are no open opportunity grabber. Like Trump's grabber. And here is Hungary. Probably gonna. This is Zakarpattia. So this battalion is fighting here in Zaporozhye, and it's from Zakarpattia. Are they Hungarians? Is this what Zelensky tries to use against Orban? Because Orban claimed that, did not like it, said you guys use our men, our minority, our Hungarian minority from Zakarpattia to fight Russia, and we disagree with that. We don't want that to happen. So now, maybe that's another reason he goes on two sides, Zelensky, one, Zaluzhny and Orban, saying, see, your Hungarian minority was hit by the evil Russians, now you have. And he tries to rile up the Hungarians in Hungary, saying, hey, Orban, what are you doing? Your policy, see, the Russians blew up our soldiers that were how do you call it, taken by the Ukrainian military and incorporated in the Ukrainian military. They went in the bars and did that as well. I made a video on that a long time ago when Orban was very upset about it. But hey, so again, maybe they try to frame both of them. Iskander ballistic Zakarpatyan Brigade in deadly Southern Front strike. So Russia used an Iskander-M ballistic missile in the deadly November 3 strike on 128th Separate Mountain Assault Brigade on the Zaporozhian front that killed soldiers and civilians alike, said the Ukrainian Commander-in-Chief's Strategic Communications Department. Now, please, I'm just kidding. Ignore my ignorance. I don't know what mountains are in Ukraine. I really don't think there are anything. I don't know. I don't think. I'm going to show you a map. I've never heard, but hey, maybe there are some mountains. And as I thought, there's the Zakarpattia. This is the Carpathian mountain that just extend beyond here, actually. So here is they have mountains. So no wonder. So I'm thinking that these guys are Hungarian minorities, because it is Zakarpattia. And Zakarpattia is, as I said, right here, the Carpathian Mountains are. This used to be Romanians right here, Hungary right here, and Poland right here. So basically, anyway, I'm going to anger a lot of people again, but I don't care. All right, so this is one. Then going to the next. The death of soldiers were confirmed by Defense Minister Rustem Umerov. Okay, let's go back here. And this is Ukrinform. I'm going to show you here what's going on, my friends. Attack on soldiers on 128th Brigade. SBI registers criminal proceedings. What does that mean? They're going to go after somebody. I haven't heard this before. Only now. Employees of the State Bureau of Investigation registered criminal proceedings over the death of military and civilians during the shelling of a settlement in the Zaporozhye region by Russians. They're not going to initiate or investigations on criminal proceedings over the Russians. Not the Russians. Not the Russians. Investigating the circumstances of the case and bringing those involved to justice is currently one of the SBI's priorities, the Bureau emphasized. As the SBI is reminded on November 3rd, during a strike by the enemy with an Iskander missile on a village in the Zaporozhye region, soldiers of the 128th Separate Mountain Assault Brigade and local residents were killed and wounded. The blast wave and debris damaged about 30 houses and outbuildings located near the impact site. SBI officers are conducting investigative actions to establish the details of the circumstances that led to the tragedy. An internal, that's internal, not external, investigation has been initiated into the actions of military officials who organized the event dedicated to the Day of Missile and Artillery Troops near the front line. Got that? Got that? All right. So we know who are they dealing. And I'm going to show you the big boss, like Bruce Lee, the movie. Here, my friends, SBI is the one in charge of Zelensky. Those are Zelensky's guys, not the military. SBI, like FBI and CIA, are the guys, that take care of things here. And we have this weasel, Ukrainska Pravda, 23 hours ago. Tragedy could have been prevented. Yeah, it could have been prevented if you did not, how should I put it? I was about to say you started the war, but you didn't start the war. You helped anyway. The war in Ukraine could have been prevented, but hey, you ran on a platform of bringing peace to Ukraine and you get them into war. So, yeah, it could have been prevented. Tragedy could have been prevented, Zelensky on 128. So you got that? It's clear what's going on here? Or at least, could be. So I stated that the tragedy of mass killing now of soldiers. What? What mass killing of soldiers? Now you say that? I made so many videos in this 1 year and a half, more than 1 year and a half, when the Russians destroyed all kind of locations where they say mercenaries were killed, these were blown up, those were blown up, eliminated this. It was never an internal investigation regarding who was responsible for the Russians killing them. Right now it is. Surprise, surprise. All right. Okay, could have been prevented. Okay, first and foremost, this guy, regarding the Russian strike on the soldiers on the 128th Separate Mountain Infantry Brigade that occurred on Zaporozhye Oblast. My condolences, I said, it is a tragedy that could have been avoided. Zaluzhny's fault. Defense Minister Umerov has reported to me on the measures taken to establish all the circumstances of what happened. Who was specifically, I can tell you, Zaluzhny, involved and what orders were given. I tell you, Zaluzhny. Criminal proceedings have been initiated in response to the tragedy. The relevant investigation is ongoing. All right, my friends? And here is how he puts pressure on the society. Right there. This is the political move that he's going to initiate, as he initiated with what's his name, Klitschko. All right, read to this. Details. The details are the most important here, like the devil's in the details, right? Zelensky stressed that the investigation must give honest answer to Ukrainian society and the family of the fallen soldiers about the tragedy that occurred and whose orders caused it. You can't make shit up. Yeah. All right. So whose orders? I can tell you who, man. I told you so many times already. Zaluzhny. So get ready, my friends. We're going to have that civil war. It's ongoing, but right now it's only in the top. When it's going to start? When will it start? When Zelensky tries to move on Zaluzhny, like arrest or something like that, or removal, and Zaluzhny said, okay, I have to eliminate this idiot. Then, and we're almost there. I don't know what's behind the scenes, but this little evidence, gets me to assess that it's coming. And this guy at least, because I didn't hear Zaluzhny attacking Zelensky. I heard like 3 times already Zelensky attacking Zaluzhny. And even in the military sphere. Remember the stalemate? Zaluzhny, I covered it in a video 2 days ago. Zaluzhny was interviewed by The Economist. And he stated that the front is in a stalemate right now. And we need this, we need this, we need this in order to do something else. The idiot, the marshal, right, the commander-in-chief, Zelensky, with so much experience, says no. The front is not a stalemate. So he contradicted the expert. Now, I would like to know, where does Zelensky get his information from? I think from the military. Who's in charge of the military? The General Zaluzhny. So Zaluzhny must know what the hell he's talking about. How can these people have two different realities? It's a stalemate. It's not a stalemate. One of you is an idiot. Or maybe both. Maybe, who knows? Just saying. Zaluzhny, so far, he didn't step on my balls yet. But Zelensky crashed them many times. So Zelensky, there's no way, no redeeming move for him in the future ever. I mean, he showed he's an idiot and so on. Zaluzhny, no. That's why I go with Zaluzhny 100%. I root for Zaluzhny if I have to. This is my vote. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.